Hello everyone, this is Cam and welcome to another BOTB video. Today we are reacting to the BOTB judging of the Dream Car competition week number 7. So before I get started guys, make sure don't forget to give us some thumbs up. If you like this video, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Consider joining the Patreon's link in the description below. Membership starts from only £3 per month and you can get access to the VIP WhatsApp and the Facebook group. All the winners are there. You can get any help if you need any. Okay, right, so I've got my man Colin with me today. How's it going, Colin?
Hi, Cam. You all right?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Right, so let's play the video. Let's react to the judging.
To Alexander Evans from Onside Law, who will oversee the proceedings this morning.
My name is Alex Evans from Onside Law, and I'll be overseeing the judging this morning. Firstly, I can confirm that all the competition data has been sent to the auditing company, AZETS. I would now like today's judges to introduce themselves and, using the secure link provided, mark on the screen where they think the centre of the ball should be. The group will then come to a final panel decision.
Good morning, my name is Matt Cannon. I'm a senior county referee and footballer and hoping Boris tonight will let us play sooner rather than later.
Hi, my name's
Too high.
and I play football for Watford FC Women and I'm a coach for Tottenham Hotspur Foundation.
Hi, my name is Ari Mendonca. I've been involved in football for years, firstly as a player and then as a referee.
Good morning, my name's Hugh Gilroy. I'm a referee, a mentor, a tutor and observer.
Good morning, my name is Alan Goma. I'm an ex-professional footballer.
Alan Goma.
Newcastle and Fulham.
Good morning.
Did you notice how Alan Goma was actually spot on today? He wasn't, his coordinates weren't that bad.
Yeah. Ooh.
My name's Liam Walsh. I'm a
I like Liam. I don't know how he did today,
but FA observer and
Liam was way down below us, mate. I just can't understand where he was looking.
Whoa, he's not looking that low.
Hi, I'm Jenna Scalacci, former professional footballer. I'm now a head coach.
And Jenna did as well.
Program.
Strange.
Hi, my name is Kieran Fitzgibbon. I've played football for more than 30 years and I'm now a senior county referee.
Kieran's not bad.
Good morning. My name's Andy Braithwaite and I'm a football
Three of them went far to the right.
Licensed observer.
I just can't understand.
Judges, please now come to a final panel decision.
Bit of a spread. I mean, this is not a hard picture.
No, I know.
Looking at the
I don't
spread.
understand how they can mess it up so much as what they have.
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's carry on.
The calculated average
who
of
they
the 10
remove.
individual selections.
I'm guessing those 4 coordinates,
morning,
or maybe
everybody.
3 of them and 2 of them
Matt.
will be removed or something.
Both looking
I
up
think,
quite intently
knowing
towards
Matt.
the ball, I think. The player in yellow, he's got his arm up, just sort of pushing onto the to the player in Mauve's left arm, or purple. And I think he's possibly coming across to challenge for the ball. His head's furrowed. And the person in purple is just looking straight up above him at the ball. So let me draw some lines in. We've got a couple of really good pictures of these eyes here, and we've got a fairly narrow band coming up from him, and we've got a slightly bigger spread coming up from.
We thought the bigger spread going to be from the guy in yellow
and purple.
Yeah,
we've got a view of his eye here with a little bit of white underneath. We'll go there.
I mean, what gets me, Cam, is he's drew the picture right from the claret player's looking eye.
Make the spread.
Yeah.
But I just don't understand the wideness of the spread.
Personally, I can't, looking at this player's eye here with a little bit of white underneath, I can't see why some of the choices are so low. It may be that people have come off the sort of 45 degrees off his forehead. I don't know, but I do think you can see a little bit of white under this eye. So I'll start with you, Leo. You're just below my choice here on the left, and just furthest to the left. What were your views on what was happening here?
Yeah, hi, Matt. Yeah, just with both players, I think the player in purple is going to head the ball or challenge for the ball. I think the player in yellow is just on looking. I think if you look at both players' sets of eyes, the player in yellow for me he's looking steeply, so I think he's looking quite high. I think the player in purple, if you look at his neck, it's kind of stretched quite far back and his head is tilted. So, yeah, like yourself, I think he's looking very steeply.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, I can't add anything to what you've said. I think that's the case. I mean, I did look at this player in purple, as you've said, and saw his neck is right back. I mean, a lot of the times we've talked about players viewing things sort of, or playing ahead, certainly ahead of straight off the forehead. But I thought with this eye, I could see a little bit of white underneath. So what I'll do is I'll go completely to the opposite and come with you, Liam. You're here. You're you're not the furthest right, but you're slightly lower than everybody else. If I put the magnifier on your choice, how did you view the photograph?
Just going back to what you said there, Matt. I took the guy in purple as having you said his angle of 45 degrees. I just didn't think the ball was as steep as obviously some of the other opinions. I felt I took his eye and head angle, and that's where and then as Leo had previously said, with the guy in yellow looking across, his eyes are raised, you can see the white underneath. And I just felt that, with the ball just very slightly in the foreground. And that's where it sat comfortable for me. Both players, for me, are on the ground. No one's up in the air, so they've got, clear vision of the ball. It just sat comfortable.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. And Jenna, I'll go to you, as I've done with Leo and myself. You're just roughly in the same line as Liam, but a little bit far higher up.
Yeah.
How did you see this?
Yeah, quite similar to Liam. I think I took a lot from the guy in yellow, his eyes. I thought we had a really good view of his eyes. The guy in red, I've gone slightly over to the right. I didn't feel like there was a lot of white in his eyes, so I didn't take much from that. That's why I'm not as steep as some of the other.
That's true, though. There's not much
crosses.
white under his eye.
So that's why I've gone over to the right of it. I didn't feel there was enough white in his eye for it to be that steep.
For him,
that makes sense.
Yeah,
it's his head tilted back.
Ari, I'll come to you.
So obviously, there's not going to be white. If his head tilted back, then the ball going to be even more to the right, where
I felt that the play in
Matt went.
purple,
If you know what I mean.
He's leaning slightly forward.
He couldn't tilt his head much further back.
His left arm to protect his position. And I feel that he wants to see the ball drop before he attempts to control it. And when I saw the shape of his head, his position of the angle of his eyes, I felt that he's more central where he's looking. And because we had as well the very good.
I can't be asked to listen to his explanation.
On the player in yellow, I felt that the ball.
And then there's someone very close. Hugh's very close to the calculated average. We have it here, but I'll go to you, Kieran, here. Again, highlighting yours. You're at the bottom of a sort of a tight bunch of three. What's your hang on this?
Yeah, thanks, Matt. I kind of agree with what most people are saying. I don't think that it's too far away from the player in sort of purple. I think both players are looking at the ball intently. I do think he's looking, his head is tilted back, so he is looking a little more above him, but slightly in front of him. I also think he's not going to be able to play the ball if it's too far above him.
Technically, they should remove.
But yeah,
5
I tend
coordinates.
to agree with what people have said so far. I just
If
think
they
that
want to
I agree with you that I
target
think
and
it's
You watched the video before you went live.
above him rather than in front of him.
Yeah, thank you very much. Andy, you're next. You're just above Kieran's, and then highlight your choice there.
Thanks, Matt.
I thought he was going to kick off.
To me, the average, I personally think it's slightly more to the left as we're looking at the picture. Where I've got my cross, if anything, I'd put it slightly above where I am. So there's quite a few people who have taken the guy in yellow's eye view who to me are correct, but I just feel that it's slightly touched to the left. And don't forget, we're looking for the centre of the ball, not a touch of the ball, the outside of the ball, the centre of the ball. To me, his eye line tells me that he's looking just slightly above actually where I've put my cross.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Andy, to make. It is the centre of the ball. As I said, with this, the player in yellow,
26 minutes
quite a
video.
narrow field of vision going up. That's great. And then Alain, you're just above Andy's choice here and getting close to this.
Okay, so let's just ignore
have you
that
got anything different to
individual
add, or
opinion bit.
Boss, you end up, you
Let's
get
see who
5
they
on one
remove.
side and you get 5 on the other, which gives us the split opinion of, is the ball high? Is the ball low? Just something for you. Yeah.
I feel that we have 2 clusters over here.
It's got to be on the left-hand side of that upper one. You can't say it's much lower.
Yeah, I see your point. I mean, what I was going to allude to originally, if I and I'm just bear with me.
It's fine. Yeah. Listen, you know,
oh no,
you're the gaffer. That's fine. But it's just a couple of things that come to me while people were talking. I thought, well, hold on, for a bit more info. And
no. Again, I think it's very important for the players of this competition to know that although I'm the lead judge, or you call me the gaffer, thank you very much. It is a panel decision there, and these are all about all our personal opinions about how we see it as footballers, referees.
See, look how much it moved, Cameron.
It's us as a whole panel that needs to decide this. It's very, very important. It's just not me deciding that I don't like this, I don't like that. I'm looking at it from the
he's talking about us,
and certainly how we've done it in the past. So what I'm alluding to here, if I put you and Jenna back in, as you've said, and I've drawn the lines as you pointed out, but on the foreheads that of the calculated average with you both in. If I remove 2 of you, and I will undo the last 2, and I put them back in onto this calculated average.
Liam basically pissed off.
I'm a little bit more.
He was, mate. He really was.
Yeah.
With this, because if I go over the top of the calculated average, you've got a balance of left and right. You've got just 3 above.
See, I said this in the stream the other week when the video we were watching.
So I think the split is,
if they're going to remove people,
better
then
for me,
yes,
and I
each
think, as
of them up.
Andy pointed
But
out,
then if
so
they're going to
eloquently,
leave them out,
having it
have a
slightly
good
higher,
explanation why
more
to leave them out.
comfortably with I think how the photograph looks. I just cannot see personally the player in claret, and thank you for whoever said claret, that was the word I was looking for earlier, that isn't looking this low. And I can't see how the player in claret, I can understand why it's coming off 45 degrees, but I think personally we can see enough of his eye. So what I'd like to do is go to a panel vote to basically leave Liam and Jenna in, which gives us the calculated average here, which I'll highlight. Or to remove Liam and Jenna, which brings the calculated average slightly steeper.
Can I just ask you though, Cam, why haven't they moved the other 2 then?
From the centre of the ball.
Yeah, the top left ones.
So if we can go for that,
the
I
top
will
right
obviously start with
and
yes.
the one below it.
Renee?
Harry's one, yeah.
Harry's and Rennie's.
I think, sorry, if you can put them back in quickly.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Take your time.
Yeah, and then if you go over the centre, the average. Yeah, I personally think if you remove, who is it, Liam?
Because I don't think Matt Cannon's is that bad, to be honest.
Yourself and Leo, because obviously with how we've judged it in the past, it's whoever is touching the centre of the ball. So I think you need to leave everybody in or take the 4 of you out.
I would agree with you, except I think with this player in the claret, I think the eye is clear enough to suggest that the ball cannot be this low. I mean, if I highlight again Liam's, and again, you know, I was a bit hard on this about it being the lead judge. If I highlight that as the magnifier of the ball, the player in claret is just simply
hide the
not looking
lines
in that
and
direction.
just put it there.
And that's why the calculated average, I think, needs to rise. I can understand if Leo and I were far enough away, but we are balanced with basically Ari and Rennie, your own choice, with Liam and Jenna removed. So, but you're saying that you.
Oh, sorry, press the wrong button.
As a simple vote, you'll be happier to keep them in, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Ari.
Yes, I'm exactly from the same opinion as Rene, because I felt that we have almost 2 clusters over there, and in this situation, if we start to remove crosses out, you remove the further to the right. I would suggest you'd have to remove your as well, and then with that you would remove mine as well, and then the cluster would.
No, I'm not suggesting you're removing yours, but what I'm saying that there is a
yes, but
right to let. Do you think this player is looking low as Liam's choice?
No,
I wouldn't say that.
Right,
As I wouldn't say yours as well in this case, because I don't feel that he's looking that far back.
Okay, that's fair enough, but what we can't do
Matt
is get a
is
situation
actually
where
in trouble.
Move more than
I know.
a couple or 3 or 4 choices. As soon as we start going the other way.
That's why I'm saying, because
right.
there's no clear cluster.
We couldn't agree at all.
Only one cluster. We have 2 separate ones, as we can see on the spread.
Mm-hmm.
And in this situation, I don't feel we have enough to remove anyone. I think we just should accept the clear average from this one.
Okay, so you're left again, and I'll reiterate that you're happy that this player is looking that low.
Well, not as low and not as high as yours, for example.
Okay, so okay, but that's not what we're voting on.
Well, that's my feeling.
Okay, so Liam
yes.
Okay,
that's it. That's what I wanted to see. Yes.
For me, I think it's really tricky. I think I'm not overly comfortable with them staying in, because I don't think where they are is right. But at the same token, I think actually.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Let me pause this for a
minute.
There is no.
I understand the situation that is in. All this time, what we wanted to hear from the judges is fight for their position.
Correct.
You don't have to just, because I think that's my personal opinion. A lot of people probably wouldn't agree to that. But just for being a head judge, because most of the judging videos we see, like, he automatically takes about 3 coordinates off first anyway, and he only leaves 1 or 2 on people's to decide. Now, I think rather than doing that, you just should explain the cluster first to everyone, and just say, do you know what? I personally don't see Liam going. I don't see that player looking that low as Liam. That's my opinion, and I don't see the player looking that high and that much to the right as Ari. That's my opinion. Now, I want you guys to tell me which of the crosses you don't see the player looking at, if you know what I mean. Like, for example, I picked this 3 to be removed. What do you think? Because it's not going to be much of a difference. It's going to be a tiny bit here and there. Most of the people probably would think the same. Now, I mean, just saying, just because Matt is being, I know, I feel sorry for him, actually. He is in a bit of embarrassing and bit of a stuck situation. He doesn't know what to do. He got a bit shocked and surprised, and you don't know what to do. Do you know what I mean? Because whatever Ari is saying, even though I don't personally prefer Ari's coordinate that much, but he does make sense. He said, yes, Liam's coordinate doesn't make sense, but even your coordinate doesn't make sense. He's not looking that steep up. That's a good point. That's what we need to hear from the judges. Like, be fair on your thing. Like, most of the time, he goes, oh, I'm removing them 3. Now, this one, say yes or no, yes or no, yes or no. And then everyone thinks like, oh, let's go with the head judge. Yes, say yes. Other ones say yes. Now, third one thinks, probably I was going to say no, but I don't want to be different than others. Let's just go with the majority. 4th one, let's go with the majority. 5th one, let's go with the majority. That's what happens. So I think removing how many judges should be removed, just ask everyone from here. If he's a tight cluster, that's fine, fair enough. If he's a bit of a, if he's a difficult picture like this week's midweek, that I'm guessing it's going to be a massive cluster, that's different. But picture like this, like on an easy picture, if they got a bit of a wide cluster, they should say, who do you think Or whose coordinate do you think doesn't make sense? Or whose coordinate do you think that the player's not looking that direction? Now, Matt gonna say, okay, let's see. For me, it's gonna be Liam because it doesn't make sense. For me, it's gonna be Ari, it doesn't make sense, or whatever. Or the coordinate that he want to remove, them two coordinate, which is Liam and Jenna. Just say, I'm happy with just removing two judges, which is Liam and Jenna. What about you guys? Renee gonna come and say, do you know what? I think leave it as it is. That's fine. Now, Ari, who do you think needs removing? Ari, do you know what? I think even my own coordinate doesn't look that good as usual. I'm with removing Liam, Ari, and Matt. Do you know what I mean? That's how you know what most of the people probably going to be happy with. I'm just giving you a scenario. I'm not influencing the judges or anyone else, just saying, because the position where Matt in at the moment, he doesn't want to, I understand, I can have that, he doesn't want to feel or sound like a dominating person. You know what I mean? He's there to do his job and all of that, but obviously he thinks his place looks all right because it's his coordinate. That's how it is. It's human nature. Everyone would think, do you know what? Liam is stick with his coordinate and this is that. Do you know what? I think my coordinate looks good. That's all right. Fair enough. But the debate that we're seeing today, that's amazing. Anyway, I'm just giving the scenario that I gave before, just maybe a suggestion to think about. What do you think? I might be completely wrong. Let me know, guys, in the comment below. What do you think what I just said? If not, what they're doing, that's great. I mean, as in just a debate was. I'm not talking about the coordinate.
And if we were to remove, we'd go further. So
okay, if I put Liam and Jenna back, all it does is bring this calculated average further to the right as we're looking at the photograph and further down. So what we're talking about is where the calculated average ends up, as opposed to removing individual choices.
Yeah, for me personally, obviously I am slightly more to the right anyway, so I'm happier with Liam and Jenna skewing it to the right. I know normally we have a nice cluster where they're all incorporated, but I've got to agree.
Oh, is that Kieran's that one?
I think it's actually got a nice balance of 5.
No, that's
5 left, 5 right.
Yeah,
okay.
I think.
So I would say
is it Ari or Kieran?
Great, thank you very much.
I think it's Ari. Well, I mean, I'm talking about the one on the right, basically.
Based on the way we've been judging so far, I would, keep both in. But based on where I think the average is, I would keep them out. So I think I agree with you, Matt. Is looking the playing.
Matt is getting happy now.
Yeah,
and therefore I think the average, talking about the average works better as it is.
Yeah, thank you. Leo?
Yeah, I 100% agree with you, Matt. I think the player in claret is looking more steeply.
It does.
So yeah, I'd take them both out.
Okay, thank you. Liam?
I think on this occasion, Matt, I will. I agree with some of the comments that have been made by my fellow judges, and I'm going to vote for myself and Jenna to remain in, because I feel that you counterbalance yourself and Leo. Although I agree that possibly other people have said that my cross may be a little bit low. That's fine. I feel that your two are, as comments have been made, are too high.
Okay, fair enough. But you don't think that with you two removed that
not
Harry
as low as that, though.
and Renee's then counter myself and
no. I think I preferred the average with the cross just that little bit. It'd be interesting. Look, we could sit here. This is a good one. We, I love a friendly debate, and that's what we're having. Yeah. It'd be interesting to see where it took the average if you removed. I'm not saying to do it. If yourself and Leo come out, what it did then. But we could play with this all morning. But I'm gonna go with staying in.
Yeah, I mean, you can play around with this until you have an awful lot of people removed, and then you just have one choice. But it's not about that. Okay, thank you very much, Liam. Jenna.
Yeah, same as Liam, obviously slightly biased, but I would be happier keeping us in.
Yeah,
just based on counteracting on the other
That's
side.
it.
Thanks, Jenna. Kieran?
Well, yes, Matt. Unfortunately, I think I agree with you to some extent. I think the line that we've
unfortunately I agree with
without
you.
those two is best, but I can understand the argument.
Yeah,
so
but then you shouldn't. If you've got an opinion, then stick to it. If that's where he's gone with his coordinate,
Thanks,
then he
Matt.
should be saying,
Again,
no,
as I
I'm
said
right.
earlier, I feel that the balance.
Not saying, oh, yeah, go on then, leave it in, or take somebody else
Can I
out.
just say, though, that don't forget that with the calculated average, you're going to get 5 on each side, 5 and 5, generally speaking, the way that we are there, 5 and 2, because it is a calculated average. So it's going to be in the center of 10 choices, generally speaking.
No, I understand. Okay, so this is an interesting one that we've never come across this before, where we have 5 to remove and 5 to keep. So
the claim a draw.
A claim a draw, yes. Well, yeah. I am going to stick to my guns on this and say the lead judge that my vote is the swinging vote, and I'm going to keep judging forward here, as I've been asked to do, to progress with the judge average with
even more than took the other two out.
I totally understand the arguments from everybody, and this is, as Liam said, this is a difficult picture in the sense that the choices have been made are looking down, looking up. But one thing I will say, and the reason that I'm going to do this is because the players of this competition are going to be judging this photograph predominantly using the eyes that they see.
That's true.
And I don't think many of them are going to understand how the ball can be put that low.
Amazing.
And I think it
Correct.
skews the average a bit
Totally
too
agree.
low for me. And that's why I think I'm going to progress the way I have. It's difficult. I don't like to do it because I understand everybody's argument, but I think from the players of this competition, it's paramountly important.
Do you agree with what we're saying then, that you should change the judges round week in, week out?
Point of view, but
No,
also
as
how
a
they
head
play
judge.
the competition.
And Matt is
with
doing
a
all
heavy
right.
heart and
I mean, if
fireball,
they bring a
Alex,
change,
I've
that's
decided
fine.
to
But
progress
because
with,
he's been doing this
the
for so
calculated
long,
average with Liam and
it's
Jenna's
all right in a
choices
way. But what I'm trying to say
removed
is
after a very
every
long
judges
and,
should have their
very good debate.
own
Thank you.
opinion and own perspectives.
Matt.
You know what I mean?
Please now click
Yeah.
submit. Thank you, judges. The selected coordinate,
Which is 1083. 731. My coordinate was 1083. X was bang on, but Y I had 722. But anyway, right. So what shall I say, man? What I'm gonna say is today's judging.
Whoa.
It's, to be honest, it's not about where the coordinate was, if it's close to mine or not very close to mine or whatever. Few things I love to mention. The best thing ever said was by Matt at the end, that the player are not going to go there that much to the right, if you know what I mean, because they were given a tool. That's what I've been saying from a long time, that it's not about a real life scenario. We were given some tools to draw lines and all of that. So based on that, I don't think someone would go that much to the right. That's very good point. Secondly, what I liked about Ari, what he said, obviously it's not just about where the ball is, how low it is, because somehow probably Liam's cross was balancing it a little bit, because where Matt and Leo went. But at the end of the day, obviously most of the judges voted that. That's just because obviously, as Andy also mentioned at the end, that obviously it's always going to be in the middle because it's a calculated average. It's not something that they're drawing and all of that. It's a calculated average. So problem is, if those two clusters, say for example, where the left one's about this size and then the right one was about this size, a little bit smaller or bigger, makes sense. But when the left one is about that much, which is a tight cluster, and the right one about that big, so obviously there's a lot of coordinates, just because even though there's only 5 coordinates, but there is so far away from each other, it will drag the average to the right. Excuse me. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. So it's in a way it's good decision by Matt. Very happy with other judges, especially Liam, Ari, Renee, and everyone who fight for their position. Even though it's good that he removed them, that made it more reasonable cross, shall I say. But at least they stick to their opinion and all of that. That's a good thing for us, because problem is sometimes, like on the picture like this getting removed, we prefer them to get removed anyway because their crosses weren't that close. But in some cases where you don't really have to remove anyone, but they still do, just to make the cluster smaller. That doesn't make any sense. So if they fight for their self on those kind of pictures, that would be amazing. But at least we get to see this. That's amazing. I don't know if they're watching these videos and all of that we suggestion that we do, obviously to improve, then that's amazing. If not, they're just thinking, I don't know if this all of a sudden they thought, like, you know what I mean, we need to talk about the players and think about the players that plays this game and all of that. Then that's good. I don't know what to say about this judging. I mean, overall, the decision, probably you guys would have probably preferred it to be slightly higher up and a bit more to the left, probably, as most of you, I think. Then yes, but unlucky for us. I mean, we didn't get it this time, but I can't really blame the judging that much, to be honest. They did well, and I appreciate Matt for being patient there and then taking everyone's opinions. And at the end, obviously, most of the majority was in his favor, so obviously he went for that area. But other than that, think that way, like, what if those other players who got removed, like Liam and Jenna, if they went slightly higher than their average, they would have probably stayed in. The average would have went slightly higher than where it is now, where probably Colin would have been close, or Dean, my friend Dean GTR, probably would have been close and all of that. But unfortunately, that's what I'm thinking. Main thing is individually they need to improve a little bit more. So far so good, not bad. I'm happy with today's judging, to be honest with you. Not because I was close or anything, no, nothing like that. It's close to the average anyway. It's not about that. It's all about imagine if they didn't remove them too, we probably would have been like a lot more to the right and would have been far away from the averages and all of that. So it's not that. It's about sticking to your position where you think and have a good explanation and all of that, and plus improving. Do you know what I mean? That's what needs doing. Like Liam, normally is the best judge. He always puts his crosses actually right next to my cross where I go. So me and Liam, probably we got similar thinking, the way we see the picture all the time, the way we draw our lines all the time. Me and Liam always been very, very similar. But this week I went at least 200 pixels away from Liam. But anyway, he obviously got removed and it landed in an area where most of you probably went. I can see there is a few runner-ups and a lot of people were in zone 1 and all of that. That's amazing. Anyway, I mean, it is what it is, guys. What can you do?
I can't complain in a way, Cam, because I mean I still got zone 2. I would have been in possibly zone 3 if they would have left the 2 judges in.
Okay.
My only gripe with it is that we want consistency. That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we can say it to you blue in the face. If you look how much it would have gone over if they would have took the other 2 out as well.
Yeah.
If you're doing bad in the judging every week, there should be a penalty to pay.
Yeah, I know what you're trying to say. Yeah, of course. I've done that before, and I was talking about the judging and all of that. But one thing I have realized and and noticed is, obviously, problem is every picture is difficult.
Of course it is.
Yeah, all of us who place our dots thinking of, do you know what, this is the best coordinate, let's put it on cam stream, and that's probably going to be the best coordinate, and you're miles away from everyone else, if you know what I mean. Now all of us got different thinking, different brain, and we react to pictures differently. Judges also, they are human end of the day, and they react to things differently too, and they come up with different things. Sometimes it's something you can notice is a proper piss take. That's a different case. But especially that midweek win when I got proper pissed off, that didn't make sense. But today, whatever happened, he is acceptable in a way. Apart from Liam's crosses, he's not looking that low and that much to the right. It doesn't make sense. But apart from him, everyone else kind of makes sense. I think Ari or whoever's coordinator, or Kieran, whoever's coordinator, the top right corner, that's also, I think that should have been removed.
That's
If
Harry's. That's Harry Mendonca's.
Yeah, if that was removed, I think would have been probably the average would have been even in a better area. But I would have been in zone 2 maybe. But I don't mind as long as it's good. I don't mind. You know what I mean? When most of the people get runner up, I don't mind. But where they went now as it is, I was in only a few pixels away. So I'm me personally happy with it. Let me know in the comment section below what do you think about this judging, and anything do you think needs improving, all of that. For me, I will give it a thumbs up to the judging video. It's just because of I saw people fighting for their position, all of that. What really impressed me today. That's amazing. Stick to your position, justify your things, and don't just go with the majority, if you know what I mean. Okay, so thank you so much, guys, for watching. We're doing a live stream at 9 o'clock tonight. I'll see you guys at 9, and take care, guys. And don't forget the thumbs up and subscribe to this channel, and join Patreon. Link in the description below. See you in a bit, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.